Well, if you're an XRP holder, again, this is another video you're going to want to pay attention to because in it, I have some information about the Solo airdrop that is coming on December 24th. I'm going to tell you about where you can now get the Solo token and where might be the easiest place to actually store both the Solo token and XRP to make sure that you are included in this upcoming airdrop. And in other crypto news, some major sponsorships are now flying around the mainstream world, and I'm going to tell you about one that's going to be a 20-year, $700 million sponsorship, and I'm going to tell you what happened to the price of its token when that news was released. And I also saw one specific industry that had 3 tokens that is bucking the system as Bitcoin has been in the red the last couple of days. These 3 tokens have been climbing heavily into the green. I'm going to tell you what they are, how much they're moving, and what sector they're in. And coming on the heels of Ripple releasing its own ideas as how the cryptocurrency world should be regulated, Charles Hoskinson, who is the founder of Cardano, just released his own thoughts on how cryptocurrency should be regulated. I got to tell you, it's really interesting. Hey everyone, my name is Randy and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. Right now on this channel, I'm covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, as well as other XRP news, as well as other cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all those topics interest you, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also hit that bell notification icon so YouTube will send you a notification when I release a new video. And if you want to support the channel, best thing you can do, smash that thumbs up button and watch this video all the way to the end. Those are really the 2 best things that you can do to support a channel like this. So if you do that, I greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is Charles Hoskinson, who is the founder of Cardano, recently came out with some comments about his own ideas on how the United States regulatory bodies should actually go about regulating the cryptocurrency and digital asset space. And it's really interesting. Now, he made these comments right on the heels of Ripple actually releasing their comments on how they feel that the crypto space should be regulated, which Ripple's thoughts are mainly that the private and public sector need to work together in order to come up with regulation that makes sense. Well, Charles Hoskinson, it's a little bit different, but it's kind of along the same path. His thoughts are that the United States needs to move away from kind of the definitional form of regulation and move into more of a functional system. In other words, regulation should be based on what these tokens and assets are actually used for. Because he says, as of right now, there's really no good definition for what a virtual asset service provider is, what the definition of a security token is, the definition of a utility token. And so any of the frameworks that they have right now just don't really make sense. And one of the more interesting things that I picked up on that article that I read was, he says rather than having the IRS or the SEC simply go hunting around for suspicious activities and wrongdoings, is that financial intermediaries should actually be the ones that actually, when they sniff these out, report to the IRS and the SEC rather than the other way around. There's some really interesting framework thoughts, and I gotta tell you, I think I agree with a lot of them. In another crypto market news, I'm gonna tell you about 3 tokens that are rising right now when Bitcoin and the rest of the market is in pullback mode. Yeah, I know Bitcoin's up a little bit recently, but not much. Now, these 3 tokens are actually in the gaming sector, and I've mentioned this on a couple of my other videos. I think these are going to be the tokens that they're going to be massive one day. Now, just imagine if Minecraft had its own native token, or Fortnite had its own native token, or Roblox had its own native token. They would be astronomically valued right now, but nonetheless, these are hitting decentralized exchanges en masse, but there's 3 that have really been moving recently. The first one is actually Sand. This is a native token of the game Sandbox, and right now it's up about 20%, which is huge considering Bitcoin's been down about 15% over the last couple days. And another one called Jewel is up over 12%. And Jewel, this is actually the native token of a game featuring fantasy pixel art NFTs. And finally, a third one called Virtual World Decentraland, which is up about 5% right now. And the interesting thing about that one is I see a whole line of games that are actually starting in development based on virtual worlds. So if you're looking for some speculative tokens in the future, you may want to pay attention to the companies that are developing the new virtual worlds. All right, so now let's talk about some big money sponsorships that some crypto companies are now throwing around. Specifically, I'm going to talk about Crypto.com, and you probably recognize their name because they're really starting to put their name on everything, especially in the sporting world. Well, it was just announced the other day that they have acquired the naming rights to what was the Staples Center, the Los Angeles Lakers Arena. It's going to be called Crypto.com Arena. This is a 20-year, $700 million naming rights sponsorship. So you're going to start to see crypto stuff go mainstream because That arena gets so much TV and airtime because of being the home of the Los Angeles Lakers. You're going to start to see this more and more, especially throughout the sports world. Now, Crypto.com also has sponsorships with the Philadelphia 76ers. They're doing a uniform deal, as well as a few others. And if you remember, a few weeks ago, I actually reported on the FTX exchange, which bought the naming rights to the Miami Heat arena. And not only that, Crypto.com also has a $175 million deal with the UFC. And it's interesting talking about these sponsorship deals because I just read an article about one pro sports team that doesn't necessarily have a sponsorship deal, but they're actually going completely on the Bitcoin standard. That's right, they are going to be doing business completely in Bitcoin. So as of yesterday, the Perth Heat, which is one of the more successful baseball teams in Australia, they've won 4 championships in about the past 11 years, they're going to be going completely Bitcoin. So they're going to be paying all of their players, all of their staff, 100% completely in Bitcoin. All of their merchandise and all of their stadium concessions you'll be able to buy with Bitcoin. They are the first professional sports team in the world to completely move away from fiat and only go on the Bitcoin standard. My guess is you're going to see a lot more sponsorships before stuff like this happens, but eventually you will see stuff like this happen where businesses go completely on the Bitcoin standard, where sports teams go completely on the Bitcoin standard. Let me know in the comment section below if you think that is actually going to be one of the catalysts for mainstream adoption, or if you think that is because of mainstream adoption that companies or sports teams are actually adopting full crypto. And a quick note on the Crypto.com announcement of that 20-year, $700 million deal. Their token, the CRO token, on the day that news broke, they went from 35 cents to over 70 cents before pulling back down and trading for about 56 cents. So some big time moves for the CRO token, as a lot of people speculate that they are going to be putting the screws to Coinbase in terms of one of the most widely used crypto exchanges, at least in the United States. So now let's talk about what XRP and Solo holders are both interested in, and that is some airdrop information that is coming up. So if you hold XRP or the Solo token, on December 24th, Sologenic is going to be taking a snapshot to see who holds and how many they hold XRP and Solo. And based on how many tokens you hold, you will be getting a free airdrop, meaning you will be getting a certain amount of free Solo tokens airdropped into your accounts. It's basically free money. Now, a lot of people have been asking, especially on Twitter and in the comments section of my last couple of videos, asking how do I make sure I'm in the snapshot? Are there certain exchanges that are supporting it? Is Uphold supporting it? Different things like that. And I did reach out to Uphold over Twitter and I asked them about this, and they responded to me and they said they don't have any information as of yet. However, you will want to keep track of their social media pages because they will be posting information about it once they have something to post. So I'll post a link in the description. You can follow me on Twitter, as I'll be posting and sharing information there as soon as I get it, as well as you might want to follow Sologenic on Twitter as well, as they'll be posting information, more specific information about things like trust lines, wallets, exchanges, who will actually be working with the snapshot and the airdrop. So make sure you go follow them on Twitter. The other thing is they actually just announced and said the easiest thing that you might want to do is, rather than worry about other exchanges and wallets and things like that, is maybe just download and use the Sologenic app. What you can do is move your XRP and Solo tokens to that app, and that way, by default, there are trust lines set up. So when they take the snapshot, you'll automatically be participating in this airdrop. Now, once this airdrop takes place, you can then feel free to move your tokens wherever you want, but utilizing the Sologenic app might be the easiest and least confusing way to participate in this airdrop if you're an XRP or a Solo holder. Currently, Solo is trading at $2.63, and just about 3 weeks ago or so, it was trading for about 6 cents. So it's already made some big moves, but some bigger moves are expected. I looked at a low-level technical analysis of this, and a new target price point that Cesar Torres on Twitter is actually looking at is around $19. This is the 1.618 Fibonacci if you look at technical analysis charts, and that would be a nice bullish number to shoot for. Of course, a lot of people really don't know what's going to be expected in the next 2 to 4 months with Bitcoin and what that's going to do. And that's probably going to also determine what the value of these Solo tokens are in the next 2 to 4 months as well. However, it looks like a lot of people are timing their airdrops right now because they know some big price movements are incoming. But let me know in the comment section below if you're following all of this. If you have any more questions, please feel free to follow me on Twitter. We can have a conversation there as well. And once again, I want to thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, for giving it a big thumbs up. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.